Welcome back to the James McGee Show. I am your host. I am James McGee. Let's get into this morning. We got a lot to cover, so I'm gonna dive right into it. Let's show to all you liberals, all you that are run around. ICU nurse Alex Pretti. ICU nurse Alex Pretti. That's what y'all keep talking about. ICU nurse. He wasn't an ICU nurse that day. And I'm showing you right now on January 13th, he wasn't acting as an ICU nurse. He is not ICU nurse Alex Pretti. I'm going to show you the proof right here. He is criminal Alex Pretti. He is police assaulter Alex Pretti. He is ICE agitator Alex Pretti. He is rioter Alex Pretti. This is who this man is. He's not ICU nurse Alex Pretti.
11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him.
All right, so this is a must-watch. Video has just emerged of Alex Pretti at a different riot 11 days before he was shot.
This is a moment the news movement filmed on January 13th in Minneapolis, showing a man who appears to be Alex Pretti interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him.
Look at how unhinged. I mean, he should have been arrested right there for felony criminal damage to property.
Our footage was analyzed by the BBC, whose facial recognition technology confirmed his identity to a 97% degree of accuracy.
I mean, you can just see it. This guy was on a self-inflicted downward spiral.
What more do you need to see? What more do you need to see? Yes, I like him too. He does good breakdowns. I use this stuff a lot. We've actually communicated. He's supposed to come on the show, Police Law News on TikTok. Good guy. So what more do you need to see to show that Alex Pretti is not ICU nurse Alex Pretti? He is criminal Alex Pretti. Yes, my friend was right. He's completely unhinged. Completely unhinged. Again, he's not ICU nurse Alex Pretti, as the media and the liberal mafia keeps referring to him as. He is criminal Alex Pretti. He is police assaulter Alex Pretti. He is rioter Alex Pretti. He is anti-ICE agitator Alex Pretti. That's who he is. This is y'all's mortar, liberals. It won't change your mind. I'm not trying to change your mind. There's a lot of people, just like with George Floyd. There's a lot of people. George Floyd, initially, I was against the cops because they withheld information. They didn't give it to us. But most people now, reasonable people, realize that that was a sham. The whole George Floyd thing was a sham. Well, this is a sham too. If the cops handled this wrong, the investigation will show that. And look, they'll have to be accountable to it. That's just how it is. But it doesn't erase the fact that Alex Pretti is a criminal. He died during the act, during a criminal act, and he was killed. He lost his life because of his actions and his decisions. So I'm tired of hearing Alex Pretti, ICU nurse. No, again, it's been proven. Multiple. Do you think these were the only 2 times? You don't just show up. That's just only 2 times we know of. The time when he was killed, the time he was kicking the taillights out of a police vehicle that was leaving the scene. The police vehicle was trying to leave. He's kicking the taillights out. So you think this was the first time? No. You don't do that. Your first time you graduate, you escalate to that. So he is a multi-time criminal. Quit calling him ICU nurses. I don't see him doing any nursing that day. I see him committing criminal acts that day. I don't see him doing any nursing that day. So quit calling him a nurse. He wasn't a nurse that day. He chose not to be a nurse that day. He chose to be a criminal. And he was dealt with like the criminal that he was. The second time, not the first time, he wasn't. I can't believe they didn't arrest him. I agree with my friend here. Why wasn't he arrested that day? That makes absolutely no sense. So before I move on to Ilhan Omar, I'm going to say it again. Alex Pretti is a criminal, and he died because of his own actions, and he died in the commission of a crime. Period. End of fucking story. So let's move on to Ilhan Omar. Unbelievable. Unbelievable that people are falling for this. And I said I was going to wait, and I did. I wanted to look at it. I wanted to look at the video, and I wanted to form an opinion. I wanted to see kind of what came out. Well, I'm going to tell you, now this is just still my opinion, but it's an educated opinion. After looking at all the facts and looking at the video, and I'm going to break that down after we watch it, I 100% believe that this was a staged attack, and this man was in on it. Ilhan Omar was in on it, and I'm going to break down why after we watch the video. Okay, so here's a couple issues with this. Several issues. I totally believe that it is fake. Well, here is my rationale why I believe that it's fake. First off, the man conveniently was sitting in the front row. Just conveniently, he was sitting right there. I don't believe that. I don't believe a person. I think the front row, I know enough about these types of events. The front row is always somehow occupied by the strongest supporters. Politicians stage the front row. They put people on the front row that are their friends. That's totally staged. For him to be centered like that, that's a red flag right there. Okay. Then what triggered him? Her biggest thing was what triggered him was her demanding the resignation of Kristi Noem. Then all of a sudden he jumps up. All right, let's look at the action. He sprays her with whatever substance this is in this syringe as he's going backwards. They say she was never attacked. She got something sprayed on her. She was never, and he's moving backwards the whole time. He's a crazed maniac is going towards her. A crazed maniac is attacking her. He sprayed her as he's running backwards. This was totally, showed me that's totally staged. Her reaction. I don't care if you're caught off guard like that. You're not. She wanted to look like a tough guy. That was totally staged. It was her going after him, wanting a fist fight. Come on. But that wasn't a total giveaway. The total giveaway, the real giveaway was the aftermath. All right. So if this was a real security issue, I'm not giving in. I'm going to keep on talking. That doesn't happen. Let me tell you why. Number one, you have no clue if there's somebody else in that crowd. This was if this was as severe of a security breach and an assault as they're portraying it, you got to clear the room. You got to check everybody involved. Even if you decide to keep on, you've got to anybody with any kind of security sense is empty in that room, is going to pat everybody. What if somebody was there with a gun? They weren't concerned. Did you see any concern in anybody's eyes? No. You know why? Because it was staged. That's why there was no concern. The other thing, did she show any concern for what was sprayed on her? Any human being is going to want to wipe that off. What if it was some kind of poison? What if it was some kind of real harmful material sprayed on her? Nobody is going to allow, no staff is going to allow her to stand up there. And why would she not want to wash that off? Or at least go examine, hey, we need to see what's on you. Let's go to the bathroom. Let's check this out. No. She wasn't concerned. You know why? Because she knew. She knew what was on her. She knew what had been sprayed. So she wasn't concerned. This was a stage act. And here's the other thing. She has a history of this. Look at where her son was attacked by or profiled, whatever she accused ICE officers. It turned out to be a lie. And nobody ever calls her out on anything. She says the craziest things. She's a complete lunatic. She's a terrible person. She's here. She got her citizenship, falsified documents for her citizenship. She should be absolutely denaturalized. She should be deported. She should be removed from Congress. But she says these crazy things because she's in trouble. This week, so all of a sudden this attack happens. They're so predictable. This attack happens just like the Somalian daycare that was broken into and all the records were stolen of the children. Come on. Well, this has no more credibility than that. She was attacked the same week that it was found out that this winery she owns is not even a winery. They don't have the first grape. They ain't got no wine. But her net worth is jumped up to $30 million. Come on, people. Wake up. This is all about fraud. Now, I have some opinions, and I'm going to cover this tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to give my my case on why Kristi Noem and Pam Bondi need to be fired, resign, or be fired immediately. I'm going to give my case for that. I have a very strong argument. I don't feel like it's because ICE is doing anything wrong or the way they're handling things. It's the way this mission was the wrong mission. And I'll get into all that tomorrow. But this mission should have been about fraud. Now they fucked all that up. But like I said, I'll cover that tomorrow. But the last video that I want to show, Greg Gutfeld, man, this guy's, he is definitely a person that he gets it. He breaks it down in a passionate way, but he breaks things down really better than anyone that I've seen. And he went off on Jessica Tarlow, who is just a complete lunatic, the liberal on the 5. But let's look what Greg has to say. And I'm not going to even try to repeat. I'm going to comment on what he said, but I'm not going to try to repeat the things that he said. I'm just going to give him the respect and show it because he said it so well.
Tibbetts, I'm going to just do it because this is just, I can't believe that we're still talking about this stuff. Here's 3 pages of women who have been murdered by illegal aliens in the last 7 or 8 years. The 7 or 8 years that we have been here talking about this and mocked over it. When we showed the embassy, showed the border being overrun and people laughed at us. And now you're here. It's like you're the maid trying to clean up a mess and somebody there is staring at you going, oh, you got to clean it up better. No, you made the mess. This is the Democrat Party's mess that we are trying to clean up. And you're saying, wow, these ICE agents are using terrible language. We don't care. I'm bored by this. I'm absolutely bored by this. I'm bored by the Nazi stuff. I'm bored by the concerned people in the media. They were not concerned when innocent women were raped and murdered. They didn't care about the 50 who died when they were incarcerated under Obama. They didn't care about the 27 or 30 that were shot under Obama. But now they care now. You deserve no attention on this. You deserve no credibility on this. It's actually comical because here's my feeling. It seems like you're ready for another one. You had good, that went for a couple of weeks. You had this guy, went for a week or so. You're going to need a third one. This is what this is about, because this is what creates the motivation for this drama that could have been prevented if you guys just listened to the sensible people. Why is it that the cities that aren't sanctuary aren't having any violence? Why is it that the rate of violence in what's the name of the city? Minneapolis is 5 to 7 times higher than cities that are 3 or 4 times larger? Why is that? You guys are always feigning this performative ignorance since you don't understand things. You never explain your own ignorance. Why is there so much violence in Minneapolis and not in Texas? Well, see, there are different.
Can you argue with that? No, you can't argue with that. He's 100% right, and it really is enough. It's enough of I just want to plea, I guess, to reasonable people. If there's any reasonable people out there, if there's any reasonable liberals left, and you know what, I'm not even going to plead to them because there are no reasonable liberals. Who I'm going to plead to are the moderates and the conservatives who are getting drawn into this, who are getting gaslit every single day over this foolishness. Look at what it's about. It's about power. It's about, I went and got gas yesterday. It was $2.14. Nobody's talking about that. You know why? Because we're talking about Minneapolis. Went and got eggs a couple days ago. I think they were $3. But we're not talking about that because we're talking about Minneapolis because that's a power thing. They don't want to. I'm not saying the economy is great, but it's improved in the last year. Gas went down probably $1 in a year. Eggs went down a couple dollars. But we're not talking about that because we're too busy talking about one city that is in the position that it's in because it's mismanaged. It is terrible leadership, liberal leadership. But our whole focus is on Minneapolis. And they're dictating our whole world right now because they don't want you to look over here. They want you to keep looking over here at the chaos that they created because they don't want you to look at your 401k that has went up. If you hadn't looked at your 401k, go look at it. Compare it to last year. See where you're at. Last year at this time, see where your 401k is. See where your investments. Like I said, I'm not saying the economy is perfect. I think that we need to get back on it. I would love for President Trump to be able to get back on this and get out of this mess in Minneapolis and quit talking about that. And I'm going to pledge after tomorrow when I talk about why I feel like Kristi Noem and Pam Bondi both need to resign, I don't plan on talking about it again. There's really things important in this nation more than what Minneapolis has caused. So let's go to Mama Luke of the day. Well, Mama Luke of the day is Ilhan Omar. So I'm going to repeat a little bit of what I said, but Ilhan Omar, you are a fake. You are a phony. You are an absolute disgrace to the United States Congress. You're a disgrace to anybody that wants to come here as an immigrant. You did it fraudulent, and you keep doing fraudulent things. You keep gaslighting the American people. Everybody knows your son was not profiled and stopped by ICE. That was a lie. And now it will be proven. I firmly believe it will be proven this attack on you was staged. It was to give you a diversion of the fraud that you have committed, the theft that you have stole, the money you have stole from the United States. Says we're not going to forget. You may have Minneapolis fooled. Good. They're stupid. They're a bunch of complete morons. They're just like you. But you do not have the rest of us fooled. And we are not going to rest until we get the money back that you and the rest of those animals stole from us. You can keep diverting. You can keep pulling stunts like you did 2 nights ago. But you're not getting away with it. You will be held accountable, and we will get our money back. That's all I have for you today. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have a good rest of the day. Be back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'm going to make my case for why Kristi Noem and Pam Bondi both need to resign or be terminated immediately. Until then, remember, nobody's coming to save you, and the world does not give a fuck. McGee is out.